It's been a long ride, but our final seasonal is on its way, and with loads of hints all around us, we've got to debunk what this new seasonal is going to be about today. Over in My Singing Monsters Live, it has been confirmed that Summer Song is going to be our next seasonal event. Whilst these events that are coming with these new monsters aren't particularly happening right now in-game, as we're going to be seeing them a year after the monsters have released on the seasonal shanty, it is assumable that our next seasonal, therefore, is going to be coming after Summer Song. Summer Song takes place late July until the middle of August, so therefore it's going to be in August that we're going to be seeing our next seasonal. However, with all these hints, we've got to debunk into it anyway today. So what is this new seasonal going to be? Now, there's lots of theories going around, all the way from Friendship Day even to the most popular one, which is a back-to-school day setting. However, with these seasonal events being the only ones in August and them not really being that memorable, I do think we are going to be delving into territory once again where we are going to be seeing a brand new concept come forward that the monster handlers have just made specific to this seasonal. And with this seasonal being Psychic Island seasonal as well, with Psychic Island now being our only magical island left without a seasonal monster, assumably going by the links that I have theorized, I do believe that we're going to be seeing a very different take on this seasonal, once again a bit like Monculus, so we do have to delve therefore into our theories and predictions behind this. With Psychic Island being very space themed, our first one of course has to be a space themed monster. Now, ever since before the seasonal shanty even, I have speculated about such seasonal coming forward, and it makes a lot of sense given all the different characters that we have on the shanty already. Just introducing one this different definitely seems to make a lot of sense. So we could even have a time-like one or a clock-theme based seasonal with Psychic Island and all of the psychics having the ability to see into the future, and with us also having community posts in the past showing the abilities that the psychics do have in this regard, and showing Ruba, for example, looking down at their watch. I do think that this is quite a likely scenario too. With this being something that they've not really gone into in-game as well, I think this might make it just a little bit more likely. We know that with all of the seasonals, they've really been hammering down in-game these lore points that we've known about for so long, like with Monculus and Crystallium, bringing these plot points forward in the game that, yes, are official, but aren't necessarily canonized inside of the game itself, I feel like is a trend that has been set. So with this being something that's not really been talked about, I feel like this could be their chance to harness this inside of the game. But then again, that would be quite similar to Carry Along, so that actually does pull me over to our final two theories, which I do think are the most likeliest ones. Now, the first one is definitely the most likeliest of the two, which is it being a Titan / Outer Island themed seasonal. I think the Titan theme definitely has a lot more going for it, but one of these two is a very likely scenario. Rob laughed. The Psychic Island Titan was our very first Titan that we saw come into the game after Harvard. Now, Harvard was the Vegetable Medley Island Skin Titan, so that doesn't really count as much as what Provlaft did when it came over into the game. So therefore, I do think it would be very befitting to have a Titan-themed seasonal come forward, especially with us knowing as well that the next few seasonals are supposed to be very lore-based. We've seen that with Monculus, Spirit, and Whiz-Bang. So therefore, it's a very likely scenario that we are going to be seeing a Titan theme with this seasonal. It could be very well linked too much to Enchantling, but again, I just feel like that would be a really cool thing to go down, and Enchantling is one of the best monsters inside of the game, arguably, so I would love to see some kind of comeback similar to that in-game. The second one that I do want to bring up is a prank-like monster. We did miss out on April Fools, but that doesn't mean they can't make up their own seasonal event potentially around this. When Fire Frontier first released in-game, the former Psychic Island, when no psychic monsters were on the island, it was a very big prank when the psychics did come forward, so they could tie into this and make it a prank-based seasonal, but I definitely think the Titan theme one is the most likely scenario of them both. For this monster's sound, I do believe we are going to be seeing the final percussion come forward for the song. We did have Whiz-Bang, who's just come in game, and they make very explosive percussion sounds, but I don't feel like that is particularly what we were exactly looking for inside of the song, and I do think it needs that one last final chance and swoop with this new monster to revitalize the song in a really good way and finalize it so that it can be over and done with. With this being the final seasonal, it's their last chance to really go ahead into this song for potentially a really long time, or potentially even forever. So I do really want to see something really cool come along which boosts the song up and just gives it that beat. The seasonal shanty song doesn't really have that beat going for it at the moment, which I feel like it needs, so therefore grabbing onto them final touches and making the shanty a song to remember is something something that I'm really looking forward to with this seasonal. I feel like it definitely needs to play potentially through most of the song, but particularly where the castle doesn't play, that seems a bit bare at the moment, so hopefully that monster can bring something in there. But honestly, it just playing throughout the entire song, or most of it, is probably what we do need out of this seasonal. For this seasonal, it has been revealed its sound. Now, all the way back in Vivine's teaser, supposedly, its sound was revealed. Now, in this teaser, its sound was playing in the background, apparently. I've seen loads of comments regarding this, and you guys have all suggested that the sound is visible inside of that. I'm not going to go back and look at this, unfortunately, and put in the video, as I want to remain spoiler free, and I know that some of you guys probably might do too, so therefore I'm not going to put it in, but definitely go back and look at that if you are interested though, as you can literally hear its sound apparently. For the lore behind this monster, there's lots of different options, but with this Titan theme, I do want to touch on it a little bit, as with Whiz Bang, we got it bang on what its lore would be about, so I wanted for the final seasonal take a little guess, even though it's really hard this time. I feel like for this one, we're probably going to be, even though there's so many options, we're probably going to be exploring why the Titans take up the spots that they do, as we know they take up the spots where the Outer Islands initially were inside of the Dawn of Fire, all the way back when, before they disappeared. So I am intrigued as towards why that is inside of the game, and I also would really like to know, just generically, the Titans' origins. It's something that we all want to know about, and maybe this could be the chance where we swoop in on that for a little bit and garner a bit more information about it. But I definitely see it being related to the Titans in some way. It's just a question of how and what lore this is actually going to be in relation to them, I think. Regardless of what its lore is going to be, though, it's going to be very profound, I do think, just like to Whiz Bang and all of the other monsters. It's going to be something that is rather exciting, I think, in terms of a lore perspective, and seeing as though this is the final seasonal, I will go out there and say perhaps this could be something really unexpected, maybe, and just something for the lore that's gonna really power us up. And honestly, that won't take a lot, as all of the last 3 monsters have really done a bunch for the lore. So honestly, even if they do as much as that, that's already a ton of stuff. No matter what they do, I'm gonna be really happy with this one, I do think. Definitely let me know down below, though, what you think this new season is going to be about, and make sure to leave a like down below if you enjoyed, and to subscribe too, guys. I'll see you guys later, though, for now. Bye, guys.